Hey yo, it's Brian here. Today, gonna be talking about the San Francisco 49ers. As always, gonna be talking about the injury report for this game against the Los Angeles Rams happening tomorrow, Saturday night. Very important matchup for the Niners. Another NFC West rival. Don't take this team too lightly. I know they got beaten by the Dallas Cowboys pretty badly on Sunday, but still, I think they're still kind of motivated to play, and they still have a small chance of making the playoffs because assuming that they win out and Minnesota loses out, they'll have the number 6 seed. But I don't know if I see that happening, but if I'm the LA Rams, I would try to win as many games as possible. But hopefully on Saturday they don't beat us because we need to win this game more to get the number 1 seed. But it's gonna be a little bit difficult just because of the fact we have a couple of guys out on the defensive side of the ball. Everyone on offense looks pretty good. So yeah, let's just talk about it right now. Guys like D Ford, he is gonna be unfortunately out for this game. He's been out for a while now for the past couple of games, and he probably won't be expected to play until probably the postseason. So that's kind of unfortunate. We do need defensive lineman help as much as possible now. Guys like DJ Jones, Ronald Blair, Demontre Moore, they're all out for the season. So that's been pretty painful to watch the defensive line to play for the past couple of weeks now. You see the Saints in the Falcons game. We have not been able to get pressure to the quarterback. We have not been able to hit the quarterback, sack the quarterback as much. I'm seeing Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner. They're on the field almost 100% of the time, and it's just been painful to watch them because they're trying their best, but they have to be on the field all the time, and you can't rush the quarterback 100% of the time. I mean, if you have a nice rotation like they did early on in the year, then it's very easy to get to the quarterback, and that's why we were first in the league in sacks for a while now. And so I think the Panthers are number 1 in terms of sack department for the whole defense. But yeah, just having that defensive line help, defensive depth, it was really helpful. But now all these starters, they have to play almost 100% of the time, and our defense is very suffering. I mean, you look at Jarrett Cook, Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, these guys, they are torching our defense, and it starts with the defensive line, and they have not been able to pressure the quarterback at all. And for the past 3 games now, we've only been averaging 1 sack a game. 1 sack, I mean, we usually average about almost, I'd say, 3 or 4 a game early on with the defensive depth, but now just 1 sack a game. That's very disappointing to see from this 49ers defense, but a lot of it's attributed to the injuries that we have and a lot of guys out for the rest of the season, just not enough depth right now. So hopefully D Ford, he comes back very, very soon, and should be by the postseason. He should be back ready to go. Like another guy out, very important, our defense, Jaquaski Tart, safety guy. Oh man, it's been painful to not have this guy. I mean, this guy's the heart and soul of that secondary, along with Richard Sherman, and to see him not be able to play, it's been a big difference. I mean, Marcel Harris, he's been a pretty good dude. He's been able to get physical, hit people, and yeah, I mean, I've seen hits that I've never seen in a while from the NFL today, but at the same time, his tackling skills, not the best, so that's the biggest concern about him. And Tart is a pretty good tackler. He's been able to get coverages and what have you, and that's a guy that we missed big time in the secondary. Another guy out, Julian Taylor, defensive line depth, as I keep saying, it's been a big problem for us for the past couple of games now. Hopefully he comes out as soon as possible, but he's listed as out for this game. The good news is if we get a couple of guys back from the secondary, we get Richard Sherman and K'Wan Williams, nickel cornerback and top cornerback for us in San Francisco. That's a very big help right there. I mean, I saw the game without both of them. Against Julio Jones, it was a pretty painful day to watch. I don't know if it was going to help, in terms of him getting yards and what have you, but I think they could have prevented a couple of touchdowns and what have you if both of them were available to play on Sunday. But that's just me. So having these 2 guys available for this game, I think it's going to be very helpful against Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, and Brandon Cooks. So we really need these guys as much as possible. But that's a good thing that we have those 2 coming back. Secondary help is on the way for tomorrow night. A couple of guys out for the Rams. I think only Troy Hill, cornerback. So that's the only guy out for them. Other than that, Greg Zuerlein, the kicker, he is questionable for this game. He did not practice at all. So we'll see what they're going to be doing with that. I'm pretty sure he's going to be playing tomorrow night, but we'll see then. But yeah, everyone else for the Rams, nobody else's schedule as questionable or out. And yeah, I mean, 49ers getting guys out, getting guys back as soon as possible, that's really helpful, but still having guys like Jaquaski Tart and D Ford, that does hurt our defense quite a bit, and it's probably going to have a little bit of effect on us tomorrow night. So we'll see what happens then. Some final thoughts for this game. The offense, they really got to pick their game up because, oh man, it was just atrocious to see just George Kittle catching the ball. Nobody else was doing anything on the wide receiver position. Jimmy Garoppolo was kind of force-feeding the ball, which I don't really like too much. I wish he was spreading the ball more. I don't know. It was just a really wonky day for the offense on Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons, and I don't expect them to do the same performance like they did on Sunday. I expect them to have a much better game. Emmanuel Sanders, Kendrick Bourne, all those guys, Deebo Samuel, get more involved in the receiving game. The running game has to get a little bit better. Breida, he can't fumble too much. That's very painful. It can cost us quite a bit. I'm pretty sure he knows that by now. But, I'm not too worried about that. But the three back guys, that Tevin Coleman, Raheem Mostert, Matt Breida, they've been good all year long, and hopefully they can keep it up. Offensive line, you got to do their best to protect them against Aaron Donald. They did an okay job, not too bad the first time they met up in LA, but hopefully now they can still do all right. So offensively, I'm a little bit disappointed from their performance on Sunday just because almost everyone was healthy and they couldn't pick the slack up, but I expect them tomorrow to be fired up and get ready for this game tomorrow and get ready for Seattle on next Sunday. Defensively, they're going to have to try their best to get to the quarterback as much as possible on Jared Goff. It's not going to be easy with everybody being out, but at the same time, they have to try their best. Secondary, got to be careful, but I'm not too concerned as much because everyone's coming back like K1 Williams, Richard Sherman. So Emmanuel Mosley, Akella Witherspoon, and Marcel Harris, they should have a little bit easier time in terms of protecting the receiving cores in the middle of the field. Linebackers, Fred Warner, everyone, they look pretty good. Kawan Alexander, want to talk about him a little bit. Looking like he can play if he wanted to. Seen some video from Kendrick Bourne catching balls and what have you, so that's pretty cool. I'll have a link in the description talking about he might come back for the postseason because he should be eligible to come back after the regular season ends. I don't know. I mean, if we do have a first-round bye divisional matchup, that would be awesome to have him back because this guy's the heart and soul of this defense. The leader, I don't want to say leader, he probably is, but I mean, just the guy, the energy man. That's the thing I miss about him out of this whole defense is his energy. If he's on the field, our defense just gets much better. Tackling still a little bit questionable, but at the same time, I mean, just the raw energy, the guy, the way he moves around the field, he runs around the field, that's just the thing that San Francisco kind of misses a little bit. So, yep, that's it, guys. I'm ready for this game. Hope you guys are as well. 49ers defense is a little bit beat up like last week, but offensively, they got to step their game up with everyone being healthy for the most part. Jimmy G and company, you got to have a pretty good game. And, yeah, that's all I'm expecting for. That's it, guys. Please let me know what you guys think about the injury report and any final thoughts for this game against the Rams. I'd like to hear what you got to say in the comments below. And if you guys like this, please like and subscribe, do all that cool stuff. I'll catch you guys up tomorrow after the game. Maybe I'll do a little live stream, 2-minute warning if it's a little getting intense like the Saints and Falcons game. So I'll think about that. Anyways, I'll see y'all then. Bye, guys. Love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Go Niners all day. Let's get this win.